fighters with hundreds of fights between the two of them. And so you see a bit of a more slower feeling out process here in the early going. And as expected, some leg kicks coming from David Crawley.
And both these comes, and each one of those leg kicks is checked expertly by Paul Johnston. So it's going to be difficult to get in here by David Crawley. Both these athletes are going to have difficulty getting in because of the experience of their opponents. And a nice catch there by David Crawley. And he apologized for catching the leg.
I'm not quite sure why the apology, but did catch the leg, lifted it up, threw him kind of back, and then, like you mentioned, apologized for it. So again, a couple gentlemen having fun.
You can hear some yells from the crowd wanting these two guys to mix it up.
Crawley very quick with the kicks, as it can be expected with that Muay Thai experience. Spinning kick now from Johnston.
More of a Taekwondo kick, karate background again.
Johnston's coach referring to him as a 70-30 fighter, saying 70% of his experience is jiu-jitsu. And we'll see, he's again trying to get in close, but not getting too close to let Crawley strike.
Just 50 seconds left now on our featurefights.ca clock. Here in the first round, this is the 160-pound division, and a nice kick trying to counter, and I think that the patience is finally worn off for Paul Johnston. I don't think he wants to feel any more of those leg kicks.
Big knee to the chest there of Johnston from Crawley. Johnston, though, does secure the takedown. Crawley doing a nice job to get into the guard.
Now here's where the old paper, rock, scissors of fighting goes. You've got the striker versus the grappler versus the wrestler. And right now, this is the home where Paul Johnston wants to live. He wants to be on top trying to tap out his opponent. And this is the worst possible place for David Crawley, not wanting to be down where Johnston can use his jiu-jitsu. Less than 10 seconds remain down the round.
Johnston coming forward like he did for the majority of round number one. Looks like a poke in the eye. Time has been called by the ref. A thumbs up, as everybody knows it wasn't intentional, but time has been called by the official as we get a bit of a break. And it looks like everything's all right.
See, David Crawley puts on this nice guy exterior, but he was actually meaning to poke him in the eye there.
Well, I won't say that.
No,
again, I keep going back to it, but it just tickles me that he called them a couple gentlemen having fun. And that's certainly what it seems to be here. Every unintentional blow is met with a smile and a thumbs up, and a big kick there to the inside leg that Crawley used to catch it and throw Johnston down to the ground. Now Johnston, again, a very experienced jiu-jitsu fighter, going to now look to work from the bottom and get a finish here. Crawley, on the other hand, trying to work the dominant position for the first time.
Well, and this is one of those things where if you're going to win the fight and you are David Crawley, you want nothing to do with the guard and the jiu-jitsu of Paul Johnston. You want to be secure your takedown, yes, and then get up and do it again. It's just not somewhere you want to be, although giving up a dominant position always not the best idea, but you can see those legs are starting to work up, and David Crawley might find himself in trouble here.
Johnston looking for a triangle or an armbar, now has him reversed over and has his opponent in a bit of trouble here as he's got him in a mounted body triangle. Now he gives that up, but he does have the full mount. Again, the jiu-jitsu fighter trying to go to work here against the Muay Thai fighter as they try a good job of wrist control here from David Crawley on the bottom, holding on to Johnston's arm, not letting it go. But Johnston, again, a very experienced jiu-jitsu practitioner, and he'll be looking for a finish.
Yeah, he's got to uncross those arms. David Crawley's got his arms crossed, and now, of course, he abandons that and would be in a good position if he was allowed to strike to the head, but not in the Calgary amateur rules. But some good jiu-jitsu shown there and some good jiu-jitsu defense by David Crawley.
Crawley doing a good job thus far of protecting himself against Johnston. Johnston, though, moving now back into the mount again, easily slipping that half guard, and now maybe looking for the submission on the arm, is pulling it out, and Crawley doing a good job to get that arm back and hold down the head, and now Johnston left with 10 seconds of body punches to finish round number 2. For round number 3, Paul Johnston out of the red corner in the black trunks, the black Muay Thai shorts for David Crawley, and Johnston immediately pushing Crawley up against the cage. Crawley trying to take him down, has maybe an arm in guillotine here. We'll see whether or not he can secure it and choke out Paul Johnston.
Well, Johnston doesn't look necessarily like he's combating this guillotine. He's just looking to strike at this point. So I don't think that it's to the point where he feels that he's in trouble. And now the arm has come free, so he's only got one arm in deep. Not enough pressure to be able to finish off someone like Paul Johnston.
Now that other arm has popped out, and Johnston working his way free, and Crawley doing a good job to that point of holding him down, but again, popping the arm out and trying for the submission now is Paul Johnston. The third round needs a finish, and that's what Johnston's trying to provide the fans here at the Subway Soccer Center for Hard Knocks 27.
Yeah, he's trying for an Americani here, trying to put the pressure on the elbow.
And a nice job of rotating his arm around and getting it out from Crawley, but Johnston, like you mentioned, Jeremy, trying to get the finish on the arm of Crawley, and Crawley so far not tapping for nothing.
Yeah, trying to keep a nice, strong position here, not rushing anything, and that's a staple of jiu-jitsu, is you don't need to rush, you don't need to do it fast, just do it secure. And a modified armbar there, a little Americana, and the fight is over. Paul Johnston got him in his kitchen and was able to finish him off with his jiu-jitsu.